So as I was talking in the last video, the video cut off. So I'm going to continue from where the video cut off. So they're denying me service everywhere, because since I sued the NYPD, my friend, the NYPD took my home in 2010, and the NYPD took my home, my basement apartment unlawfully. So I sued them in 2013, and Arizona got involved in 2014. Said it was going to be helping with the court papers to send to give to the NYPD and helping with my lawsuit. And the police went and choke him dead days later. And they didn't let me testify in court, even though I was recording Arizona as I was giving him the court papers. The same place where I gave him the court papers, Victor Boulevard and Bay Street, the police went and choked him dead days later, and they didn't let me testify in court. So the court dismissed the Arizona''s case as an accidental death. The grand jury dismissed it because the city didn't present enough evidence. They didn't let me testify in court. So now my mother's daughters went and killed my mother a year later in 2015, feigned mental illness on my mother, and my mother died in the psych ward. Even though my mother has a heart problem, my mother said our daughters were trying to kill her because they were trying to steal property and also do insurance fraud on her. And also because the police removed me and my mother from our home, our daughters felt if they killed my mother early, they could blame it on the police and get the money. I said inheritance money. So the daughters was trying to make my mother panic, and they told the hospital to lock her up in the psych ward. And I have evidence those daughters were just being malicious. They don't care about my mother, because they used to send gifts to people that wanted to kill my mother in Nigeria. Me and my mother testified about those people in 2001 in the immigration court at 26 Federal Plaza. And my mother said by 2014 and 2015, our daughters were sending gifts to those people that wanted to kill my mother. So said they were sending to the United States Postal Service. So the USPS, United States Postal Service, computers should be subpoenaed for 2014, 2015 in Pittsburgh to see if there's somebody sending gifts to Nigeria, and from the zip code where my mother does live. Because if you're trying to send gift through the post office, they will weigh the gift, the package, and enter the weight into the computer and your zip code and the destination to arrive at the postage rate. So the post office computer to subpoena, that would be proof that our daughters put my mother in the psych ward maliciously. Because how could you be talking to somebody that's trying to kill your mother and be sending them gifts at the same time lock your mother up in the psych ward? So now I've been getting blocked everywhere. My mother's daughters, when they killed my mother in 2015, they took my green card that my mother was holding for me. And the extra copy of the extra green card I had also, because the immigration gave me 2 green cards after I came out of immigration prison, and my case was finished in 2008. I spent 8 years in the immigration court. So they mistakenly gave me 2 green cards. My mother had one for me, and I had one for myself. So in 2015, my mother's daughter, Balani Afra, killed her and took that green card my mother held for me. So the other green card, I held it for myself, and the police arrested me in 2019 and locked me up in the psych ward and stole that green card. So now I don't have any of my green card. All I have is photocopy. But when I had my green card, I used to apply for everything with my green card. So there are offices that have a record of me. One of this is the check cashing place where I used to cash checks. So I went to their check cashing store and they gave me a bank card. Because I don't have a bank account right now. All my bank account has been closed. And I was surprised after I went on GoFundMe.com and Go. These are sites you can raise money. And when you raise money there, in order to get the money out, you need a bank account. So I was going to use this bank card to withdraw the money if anybody gives me money. And the bank has canceled this bank card. So this bank card is now blocked. So, I believe the FBI is the one telling them to be blocking me everywhere. And I listened to the Curtis Sliwa radio show. I've been listening to him since I was in immigration prison in 2000. He used to do a show on ABC radio with Ron and Kubi. Now he does it alone. Curtis Sliwa, he used to work with the FBI because some mafia guys shoot him in New York City, so I was working with the FBI. So I believe, since I've been in prison, the immigration prison sent my fingerprint to FBI. It's mandatory. It's routine. Anytime you're in prison, immigration prison, they'll send your fingerprint to the FBI. And even Snowden is on asylum in Russia right now. He fled America, he used to be an FBI CIA agent. He said that they always conduct unlawful surveillance on any immigrant. Any immigrant that's ever had a contact with the justice system is that they continue to surveil the person. So right now, I'm under unlawful surveillance by the FBI. Even a Uganda that was trying to help me against the police with my court papers, the police went and choked him dead days later on Victory Boulevard. I was recording in Uganda, and the FBI never arrested the Uganda killer, let him walk free. And they never let me testify in court. So today I went to apply for food stamp, and all of a sudden I was listening to ABC radio, and this guy called Sliwa, I think he works with the FBI also, since he was shot by some mafia guys. He worked with the FBI to arrest this mafia guy. So he's been playing a song, "Don't Come Around Here No More, Don't Come Around Here No More." So and so even the food stamp office told me they can't interview me in the office. I have to go call them on the phone. So I've been calling them on the phone, 17 minutes, they put me on hold, they don't answer the phone. So since 2010, I've been trying to apply for food stamp. My mother took me to the welfare office, they didn't give it to me in 2010. I was homeless on the street with a green card, they didn't give me. 14 years later, I'm still applying. Even though they have all my information, because I went to the HPD shelter before me and my mother was abused and kicked out. We were poisoned with like anthrax in the shelter. The APS surveillance will pick it up because me and my mother went outside and came home to the shelter, and we saw white powder in our room. And we're talking, what's this white powder in our room? And they put it outside our room and noticed that they came to debug our room. They call it exterminate our room. They didn't give us prior notice. They just opened the door as soon as we went outside. And that substance was smelling really awful. And me and my mother fell sick after that. Blood started coming out from my nose. She ended up staying in the hospital for many days. I stayed in a university hospital. I ended up in the hospital also. Calling out of the hospital in 2011. So I informed, the shelter asked me that they haven't seen my mother. I was released from the hospital first. My mother was still in the hospital. So I told them my mother's still in the hospital, that me and I fell sick. After we came home, I met white substance in our room in the shelter. And the guy in the HPD said, good. I'm like, why is that good? He said, yeah, we don't want you guys in our shelter, and it's good that your mother is sick in the hospital. We'll tell the hospital to keep her in the hospital and apply for housing for her. Put her in a shelter for sick people. I'm like, you can't discriminate against us. He was like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We don't want you guys in our shelter, HPD shelter. That's the shelter for people that are removed from the basement apartment. I'm like, so the HPD guy called the hospital and told them to hold my mother. Even though she was feeling better, they told her they're gonna put her in the psych ward. That, I had to go free my mother from the psych ward. I believe our daughters in Pennsylvania was also contacting the HPD that they should lock my mother up in the psych ward and deliver her back to Pennsylvania. The daughters were trying to kill my mother because they believed they could win money. And my mother ended up going to Pennsylvania, and my mother said they started poisoning her. Bolale would give her food that would taste like car antifreeze poison. I said the food would make her so sick, her heart would start hurricane. So my mother was eating her food, and she had a heart attack again. And the daughters came with her to New York. My mother fled Pennsylvania to come to New York to come to the hospital here. And the daughters came here and told the hospital to lock her up again in the psych ward. And they locked her up again in the psych ward, my mother died. So they've been locking my mother up in the psych ward since 2011, wrongfully. I believe it's the daughter in Pennsylvania telling the authorities, because in 2011, my mother was saying the hospital said that they should lock her up in the psych ward, that she can't come out, that the shelter doesn't want her back in New York. So I believe the daughter in the Pennsylvania was the one contacting the shelter that they should lock her up in the psych ward and move her back to Pennsylvania, where the daughters can abuse her. Our daughters were just trying to have access to her so they can kill her, because at that time the police had removed us from our home in 2010, and there was, so they were trying to kill her so they can get all the money for themselves. I think the police kicking us out caused her to have a heart attack early and die. So in 2011, they locked my mother up in the psych ward wrongfully. I had to go free her. And in 2015, the daughters also locked her up again in the psych ward, and she died this time. And the city of New York would arrest them. The daughters, even my friend Gary Uganda, I was trying to help my mother in 2014. They went and choked him dead. The Uganda class working for. So today I applied for food stamp, and I went there to the office to interview. They told me I have to go outside and make a phone call. They don't do interview in the office. I'm like, but I see people lining up to do interviews. They said I should go outside. So as I was coming outside, there was a Spanish woman there. I was trying to upload a photocopy of my green card, because all I have is a photocopy. My green card has been stolen, but before it was stolen, I made a photocopy and put it in my email. So I print out the photocopy So I went to upload it at the office for food stamp. So there was a Spanish woman there. I think it's something, she may be a gang member, because she was holding up the scanner. Before I could use the scanner, she was already there. So a Jamaican guy was telling her, please, madam, do you need help? And she was like, don't talk to me. I don't want your types to be talking to me. Another black woman, she was like a foreigner, to say, can we help you? She was like, no, I don't want people like you talking to me. So a black American guy started talking to her, a police officer. She's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's people like you I want talking to me. And the police officer was like, anything you want, we'll do it for you. It was so ridiculous. She was like a Puerto Rican with a US accent, and she was so condescending, and she was blocking me from uploading my document. So the workers there, they were both foreigners, male and female, were trying to tell her, you can't hold up the scanner. Can we help you? And she was like, don't talk to me. I don't want your type swiping. She was so rude to them. And when I came outside, that Puerto Rican woman came outside with me also. And she was just, so they're blocking me. And then as I was coming outside, this Curtis Lewer, he does a radio show from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. It was around 12 p.m. And he was playing a song, Don't Come Around Here No More. Don't Come Around Here No More. Anytime he plays that song, I'll get denied. So I believe the FBI surveillance is telling them to be denying me things everywhere and have Lewer to be making fun. I listened to the radio show since I was in immigration prison in 2000. He's had his radio show. So I listened to it for like 20